Powerhour.com. Your host, Balrog fan Zexorus, and DJ Tyrant. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Heroes Power Heroes of the Storm podcast brought to you by BlizzPro.com. This is episode 127 of the Heroes Power on December 12th, 2017. I'm your host, TJ Tyrant. With me, we have a little bit of a limited crew. We have P, FlameG, and Zexus with us, but we are going to talk all about the brand new patch that just came out today for Heroes. We've been talking about it for weeks. For months it feels like, but it's finally here. All the new changes, all the cool new stuff. But first, as we do every week, how has your week been in gaming? We'll start with P Flame G. How have you been?
It's been good. I played a good amount of Diablo. I know three of us and Charlie have gotten back into that a good bit. So it's been fun. I played some HOTS this week. Played one game on the patch, the new patch. The health globe change, I think, is the weirdest one so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after how many years of having it be a certain way, it's a little bit different, a little bit adjusting to get used to. Zexers, how about you? How's your week been in games? What have you been up to?
I've been getting in touch with my retro side here recently. I've been doing a lot of 16-bit stuff. I'm on the hunt for a new game to speedrun. I think it's going to be Ys 3 on the Genesis. Seems pretty simple. There's a huge glitch at the start that just lets you basically run through the game. But I played some HOTS here and there, more Diablo. So I'm kind of slowing down on the Diablo because I'm kind of frustrated that I can't get any Ancients or Primals to drop. So, I mean, man, that's pretty much been my week. I've got some plans for Nexus commentaries in the oven. I've got an idea I'm kicking around, and I'm going to see how feasible it is. But
no, it's good. As for myself, I've been playing a lot of Diablo as well as these guys. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a bit since I've gotten relatively involved in this season, playing a wizard and trying out the set that you get from Hadrig's Gift, and it's been fun playing that Archon build. But yeah, that and mostly Heroes as well. Played some Team League with Aya and Sinwinder, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in Team League. Finished
Diablo with him yesterday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and I finished my placements, which was good. Got silver too, and then obviously didn't play any more this season. This is probably the first season in a long time, I don't know how long, that I haven't done my Hero League placements. I think I played 2 Hero League games. It was like, that's enough for me. But I think with this new patch, the MMR changes, the laning changes, the tower changes, all that stuff, I'll probably play a little bit more. Also, I'm still playing the Animal Crossing game for the phone. It's my wind down game when I'm getting ready for bed. Just simple task runner thing. But really quickly on a really serious note, if you are aware of where I currently reside, which is Camarillo, California, it's inside of Ventura County. If you've heard of that recently, you've probably been watching the news as the Thomas Fire ripped through a lot of Ventura, my hometown, and is still, unfortunately, still burning pretty crazily up near Santa Barbara County now. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about really quickly is that Zachary Levi from Chuck, the lead actor on that show, he's from Ventura. He actually put together a GoFundMe at gofundme.com/Zachary Levi, ZACHARYLEVI. Obviously, you're under no obligation to donate, but Ventura is very near and dear to my heart because of it. Just living there for 95% of my life. And it really sucks right now. It's a really hard time for a lot of people. I'm very fortunate to not have really been directly affected by it at all, or my family, but I think every single person that I've talked to knows someone who has lost their home, which is kind of shows the extent of it. And definitely my thoughts go out to all the first responders as they are still actively working on this as it continues to burn. But anyways, that's it. Yeah, thanks for listening to my little PSA, I guess. But we'll get on with the show now. As we said, the new patch drop, which comes out with the Winter Veil update as well. So there's that event, Hanzo, and all the gameplay changes. So this is a pretty monster patch. This is like Heroes 2.5, I would say.
Yeah, so 2.45.
There we go.
You forget about that 5% patch.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this would be 5.5.
No. See, because the 5% patch nerfed all the supports 5%, so you go back 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
So
before we get into this, I'm just gonna say, I saw the Vala skin. I like the Vala skin. I saw the loading screen. I'm not sure I like the Vala skin anymore.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what? The load?
When you're like loading into the game.
Uh-huh.
It's it's kind of weird.
I'm actually re-logging back in now.
Just so you can see it, yeah.
There's some crazy eyes. But
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I guess we could actually talk about the patch now.
Yeah. Well, since we kind of hinted to it at the start, the lane changes I think are pretty significant for the game, and we talked about the globe changes, and we've already talked about that. If you are not familiar with the globe changes, basically they've made it so that globes can now go neutral after, was it 4 seconds?
So globes now last 6 seconds instead of 8.
Okay.
And after 3
seconds, yeah,
they go neutral. So you have 3 seconds to pick up globes that your minions drop, and after that, the enemy can pick it up. But you could also pick up the enemy's globes after 3 seconds. So it's kind of part of a whole suite of laning changes. But the whole goal is to kind of reward people for playing aggressively. And if you're pushing them off the wave and you're standing, kind of forward and in their minions, and you get the reward of 2 health globes per wave.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to play passive and just soak the experience, then you might not get a health globe at all.
Yeah, exactly. And the other big change is the removal of tower shots, so they don't have ammo anymore. They have True Sight as well, and there is no supporting tower for the forts now. It's just the fort on their own. Blizzard kind of hinted at this already with the Voskaya battleground, having that in there. I guess just as a test, and it was successful enough that they decided to do that. But the lane changes overall as Exodus, I think they're a positive change for the game. Obviously, we only played a couple games so far, but they definitely made the start of the game feel a little bit more meaningful, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's going to take a little bit of time for me to readjust, as I like to play aggressive on my tanks. And the added benefit is draining those tower shots, and that's not really the case anymore. But the laning changes do feel very impactful, I should say. Like, it does feel like a different game, in that early game. And like I sit here, I read all the changes and stuff, and I know what the changes are. But it's just like it's a different feeling, like, and I just can't put my finger on how it feels different. Like all those games, like it just feels weird,
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
it's definitely going to take a little bit of readjusting. I agree with Carl that the globe changes are are going to be weird initially, but then it's going to be really, really impactful because pushing your opponent out of lane is going to have so much more value now.
Yeah.
Because instead of getting one globe, you're now getting two globes, which helps the person winning the lane stay in the lane for even a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to kind of talk about some of the reasoning behind those changes. I want to say the tower shots confused me at first. I initially was like, this seems like it helps the defender a lot, and it does. But I think what it accomplished was that just having better wave clear doesn't mean you win the lane. Because it's like, okay, yeah, you can shove the wave and push under tower, but like that's not an interactive way to win the game. That's not outskilling your opponent. That's you have Johanna and you can hit W. So what they made it is so that if you want to actually pressure your opponent, you want to actually win the lane, you have to hit them. You have to fight your opponent, and it's definitely easier to fight them if they're trying to kill stuff and they no longer have a minion wave and you have a big minion wave and you can take advantageous trades there. If they're sitting at the tower trying to clear stuff and you're just firing freely at them, then that's great. But it makes requires more effort to win the lane. So it is actually like a skill expression thing and not, hey, I have more wave cleared, therefore I win.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And one of the things
cool.
one of the things I might be going bye here, so this might be a two-person show. I don't know yet.
Okay.
So
is there a thunderstorm?
No, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so one thing I noticed was there was a lot more Sylvanas picked.
Huh.
And
Yeah, I think it's more people testing it to see if she's stronger because of these changes.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but like really just her initial value is just up because you don't just that is so distracting because you just don't push a lane up and then just disable a tower until it's you have to tactically kind of disable the
unique now.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm like the lights flickering is like really throwing me off.
So also with this, it was kind of a footnote in the patches, and I think it's an interesting change. They made minions do about 10% more damage just to everything, and they made turret shots deal 25% less damage to minions. So I think what that will accomplish is that if you do, so like I just talked about how you're not gonna, win the lane just by wave clearing, but that kind of softens that blow. So if you are just shoving it in and they're constantly have minions hitting their towers, the towers will go down faster. Because the minions do more damage to it, the towers don't kill the minions as quickly, so you can't run them out of ammo. So I don't know if it's faster. Maybe it's just not as big a hit as it would have been.
Okay. Also, another side note, really quick, which connects to the laning stuff, is this apparently was a change that got reverted that I didn't notice in the PTR changes, but it was that walls will now be destroyed if their connected towers and gate are also destroyed. Walls can still be attacked normally, but they said after reviewing community feedback, they reverted that change. So
all the Chen, Kerrigan, and Illidan mains hated the change.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anybody who had any kind of mobility that required a wall absolutely hated that change.
Target.
Well, yeah, but yeah, that was such a stupid idea.
Even Lucio and Junkrat would not like that change. But I like that they that they did that.
Junkrat?
Because he can jump off wall or jump over walls and stuff.
Junkrat? That's just a concussion mine.
Okay, well whatever. Maybe I was thinking Genji. I don't know.
You might have been thinking Genji.
Yeah. But anyways, that got changed.
Out there that really tactically use the walls, and I think to be fair, a large portion of the player base just leaves the walls up and ignores them, and then provide vision for the enemy team, and it's like a detriment. And the change would have helped that, but it kind of removed that option from all the dive heroes. for them to have a way out. So, I don't know. I think the change would have been okay. It would have made you play a little more carefully on Shen, Kerrigan, Illidan, and whatever. But they reverted it. And then, I guess on the tower and the true sight. So, their article says, this is kind of interesting, that they realized that the extra tower was actually hurting people more than it helped. Because basically all it did was provide a choke point. It wasn't actually really firing at a bunch of minions or anything, but it would provide like, oh, they're walking right through this choke point. We can line up every skill shot and nail them.
Yeah.
So they took that out, and then they kind of redistributed the health and experience and everything, the rest of it. But they're like, okay, but there are two heroes that really like having that extra tower, and those heroes are Murky and Abathur. But to kind of help Murky and Abathur out, they gave the towers True Sight, so that they can see Zeratul, Nova, etc. coming for them, which I think might actually be a nerf to Abathur. The True Sight.
Why?
Because I think a lot of the time, players were spending a suboptimal amount of time hunting Abathur. I think they were actually doing less for their team hunting Abathur than they could have been doing elsewhere on the map. And so if they aren't doing that anymore, they're actually accomplishing something for their team, and it might actually be better.
That's actually a fair point. I think
at high level play, it's a nerf to Abathur, right? Because the appropriate amount of Abathur hunting is now worse. But
yeah,
at a lot of levels of play where there was an inappropriate amount of Abathur hunting going on.
It's interesting. I didn't even think of that, but that's a really valid point.
That's an incredible, and that's not something I really thought of. But the other side of it is with that True Sight, and Abathur can quickly, hat that keep and start putting damage on whoever.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's Nova, because that clone's not going to last forever. One. And if she does it right, she's going to clone in first and then follow up. But that right there's your tell,
Yeah, and she's really the only stealth that can now kind of get away with it with the clone.
Yeah, but with that True Sight, and if Abathur, gets a spike burst and a couple of spines off onto her, she's dead anyways. She might not even get that kill. So because she's still got to walk around that keep. Or that fort, or whatever. So, I mean, I don't disagree with your point about it might actually be a nerf to Abathur.
It's the weirdest nerf, but it might be a nerf.
Yeah. Speaking of interesting Abathur buffs, nerfs, however you want to call it, I saw some pro players talking about how Abathur hard counters Hanzo's level 1, where he has to kill or shoot every hero on the enemy team or something like that. And someone was saying, oh, well, Abathur just hard counters that because he just sit in base and never let him finish his quest. I mean, which is the same problem that Zul'jin has, but really no one seriously picks that talent. I feel like
which one?
The one where you have to kill the one where you have to kill every hero. And then completing it, you get increased range.
Right. The Zul'jin quest. Okay. Sorry.
Oh wait, I'm thinking about the one that gives you like a activatable reveal every enemy hero. Is that on Zul'jin? Who's that on?
That's on someone else. Wait, no, that was on Zul'jin. I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh, they removed it.
They must have removed it.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember that.
A lot of Zul'jin since the rework.
I do remember that. But yeah, anyways, it's just kind of funny. I saw some of the pro players talking about that, and I thought it was silly. The other big thing, I think, is the performance-based matchmaking. Obviously, we can't really talk too much about that. None of us have really played Hero League extensively enough. I want to say I'm going to play more Hero League just to see how this is. We'll see if I get extremely frustrated or not, but we'll see. Are you guys gonna play more Hero League or Team League? You think?
I probably will because I just finished my semester today. but not because
Has nothing to do with these performance improvements.
So I'm not generally one who feels like I am trapped way below my actual performance. I think I've definitely gotten a lot worse since I started playing, and I deserve to be in plat right now. And I think if I actually put the time and effort into playing more Hero League, I could get better and earn my place back in Diamond. And I guess this will help if I do that. I think it's a better system in general, so I'm happy they put it in. I think it will be a little more telling for players, and you know, no system's perfect, right? So they're gonna do their best, and there'll be times where you feel like you played a really good game and you got like plus 10 points, and you're like, I should have earned more than that. Or sometimes where you got like minus 10, you're like, hey, I didn't do that bad or whatever. But you know, I think it's probably an improvement. I think it's good for the game, but I don't know if this strictly is saying yes, I'm going to play more Hero League. I don't know what Willie's thoughts are though.
I'll give it a try just to see how it turns out. I do plan on playing more Team League this season just because, you know, I know more people who are willing to just jump in and do Team League at this point, and, you know, who, you know, also have, you know, good communication and things like that, you know, things that are kind of required for Team League at this point in time. And yeah, I am definitely interested. I'm probably going to try really hard in Hero League just to see if I can get back into plat somehow for maybe a week, and then I'll probably just give up and go back playing a Diablo or something.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it'll do with the lack of data it has on my MMR right now, as far as Hero League is concerned. The other big one, camera height changed. We've talked about this before in the past. Just a good change all around. We're happy about it. I don't think there's too much more to talk about with that. The big change is really, though, is all the battleground objectives got normalized. The one thing we did notice playing today was that Black Hearts, I don't know if it was the voiceover was wrong or something, or mistimed. It sounded mistimed, or it's not clear that it's like a 30-second warning.
Is the first chest spawn now at 3 minutes, or does Blackheart spawn at 3 minutes?
The first battleground objective event will now activate 90 seconds into the match following a 30-second warning for the following battlegrounds, including Blackhearts, Braxis, and Dragonshire.
Okay. So Blackhearts is 90.
It's
Still,
3 minutes after the final chest has been captured. So you have a hard time that the next ones will spawn.
Yeah, but the first chest spawned at 50 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, it used to, yeah.
This is later.
Yeah. So that must have been the 30-second warning we were hearing.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know, still that, I don't know. It didn't seem clear.
Yeah, the timer definitely threw all of us off because we're so used to that, 1 minute?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, where's the chests? What's going on here?
Yeah, you barely have time to clear the top wave if there are multiple heroes that up before the chest. So.
Definitely. Yeah, and so that's going to definitely take some readjusting. And I'm wondering if it's going to be the same thing on, like, Cursed Hollow, because you know at that 2-minute spawn, when the camps spawn, I think the camps spawn earlier.
Camps spawn at 1 minute now.
Yeah, I was about to say they changed the respawn timers for camps.
I'll have to look at what the actual respawn timer is for Siege Giants. If you say, like, hey, I want to take it at 1 minute.
And then 3.5 minutes or something like that?
Because I don't think you can get another spawn before the first tribute. But you might be able to time it for, like, this. Like, after the first tribute, you go immediately take your respawn Siege Giants. But I don't know how many people can clear it at level 1. Or at 1 minute solo. Because that would be, like, level 2.
Illidan?
Illidan probably can.
Yeah.
With
you're right.
Immolation at level 1.
Immolation Illidan probably can. But not a whole lot others. Rhaegar can't anymore now they lost Lightning Bond.
Yep.
Thanks, Blizzard.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Blizzard. You guys are so good.
But speaking of camps,
5% buff to Chen, Willie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Speaking of speaking of these mercenary changes, though, there's a whole bunch of changes to the camps themselves. Siege camp giants basically just got a quality of life improvement to their attacks. They're just easier to see, apparently now.
Take a shot of refreshing cola.
Yeah, there you go. The Hellbat camp respawn timer has been doubled, and they prioritize structures. Health and damage has been increased as well on the minions for that Hellbat camp. And they also apply the -5 armor debuff to all targets, stacking up to 20 times. And this includes structures, which will be interesting to see how that plays out.
What now? What was that last
Okay.
part?
Is that stacking up to 20 or 20 times?
That
says 20. That's a -120 armor.
Okay, it says stacking up to 20 times. That sounds slightly insane. But
that sounds actually absurd.
I feel like we need to test this, because that sounds wrong.
I feel like they meant to say up to -20 armor.
I think so. I feel like the PTR said that or something.
Because that's a
and this is just
number.
This is someone.
-120 armor is not a reasonable number.
Someone miffed a typo or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Night camps now provide spell armor.
The wizard knight specifically.
Yeah,
so
the wizard knight.
It.
Yeah, it's basically just a spell armor aura.
Yeah.
And
so
it
you kill the
actually,
wizard, the rest don't get the aura anymore.
it actually felt impactful too, because there was a couple of abilities I ate while on Johanna that should have done a lot more damage than what they did, and that 30% spell armor kicked in, and I was like, oh, I'm still pretty healthy. Okay.
Yeah, I like these changes because I think a lot of the later mercenary camps they released were pretty cool, and they feel like they have a niche, you know, like the what's the summoner one called? That's just like endlessly pushing and will just actually take down a keep if you leave it alone.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Bruiser's
The Diablo one.
No, it's like the Khazra is the goatmen that throw spears that do a lot of damage. But
The shaman camp.
The shaman, yeah, the shaman camp will actually just take a keep. But the first two were kind of vanilla, so they.
Yeah, it looks like the Diablo minions didn't get changed at all.
Yeah.
They don't really need to be
No, they don't.
changed. Like those, I'm okay with those not really being changed at all, because like the shaman camp is already unique in the fact that it constantly spawns minions, and the Khazra camps are fine just because like they have longer range than most siege camps, you know, and there's 3 of them. And they can if you immediately take it, and then, I don't know, blinding light over a wall, like, it will immediately start attacking it. You can get wells off that. On the blue side, if you take the blue camp and you're on the red side, like, you can take out that mid well. Like, I've seen it happen. So their range is very big. So, yeah, I'm fine with the Khazra camps and the shaman camps not getting any changes. It's not really needed, I think.
Yeah, and the other one is sapper camps getting changed as well. Damage scales over time. Laning sappers health scaling increased by 33%. Respawn timer increased from 105 to 120 seconds. And now they have 100 armor versus structures while charging. And towers will ignore charging sappers.
It seems like a redundant thing.
Yeah, a little bit. That's a lot of armor, though. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% damage reduction.
Yeah.
Plus the towers ignore them.
Yep. So sappers will be a little bit more valuable.
Why both of those are true. I guess if it fires a shot and then it starts charging, it will negate it, and then after that first shot, it will stop firing at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But this is something I didn't prep anyone for, but there were actually some changes to the hero changes that were on the PTR that are currently live. Nova's changes, some of the talent changes were not were toned down a little bit. One in the chamber got its bonus damage reduced from the PTR. Sonic efficiency now refunds the cost of snipe on a successful hero hit. So it's kind of nice. Explosive round moved to level 13, and then at level 20, precision barrage now also reduces the cooldown of precision strike by 30 seconds.
Okay, now that's actually useful. Because what, that makes it like a 30-second cooldown, so a minute you've got 2 huge bursts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now will you stop making fun of people taking precision strike?
No.
Or
never.
no? Okay.
Only
Triple tap or die.
Yeah. Triple tap or get out.
Please don't take triple tap.
No.
Take triple tap.
Samuro is unchanged. Valera's getting some decent buffs to the talents that were introduced in this patch as well. Combat readiness at level 1. Physical armor increased from 50 to 60. And at level 4, hemorrhage bonus damage to targets affected by garrote increased from 25 to 50%, which is a pretty significant buff.
Yeah.
That's huge because, like, the bonus damage on garrote already felt really, really weak to begin with, and there's just other abilities you just took at that point, and this actually makes me at least want to try it, see how it goes. But yeah.
And we got hammer buffs.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is we got a interesting round of hammer buffs. Health increased. Basic attack damage increased as well.
That's a 12 basic attack damage increase. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad with it scaling. Maelstrom rounds damage bonus reduced from 40 to 35%. Hover siege mode at level 7. Movement speed increased from 25 to 40%.
So the level 16 talent was 50%, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved it to level 7, they dropped it to 25%, and they realized this is slow as tar. Nobody wants to pick this.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
our first game, Zex, you played Hammer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, yeah, I'm not taking over siege mode. And we didn't realize that had been changed on live.
No, I knew
with
it was-
this. Oh, you
no,
did? Okay.
I had read the patch notes. I knew it was changed. It was just more of a I need the range for the shrines over the mobility. You know.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, hover siege is kind of niche.
But who knew we'd have a solo
Turan.
healer Turan?
I'm gonna say that game that I was in, it was our last game played. We had a solo heal Lily who took Water Dragon, and we won that game.
Well, there was a reason for that because she probably she took the spell power town.
Yeah,
the blinding wind.
And
so
I
her
also
heals-
picked Cassie because they picked Lily.
And like her heals, like late game, if she hits 4 people with a blinding wind, she doesn't need jugs. Like especially with all the fast feet talents and stuff. Like
I mean,
saw,
20 Lily has never needed her ult. That's never been the problem.
Mhm.
yeah, like yeah, I wasn't surprised at the. I would have liked the jugs at one point. It would have maybe helped a little, but I mean, it wasn't the biggest. I was like, oh no, scrub Lily, no pick jugs. I mean, it was probably the smarter decision because they had a bunch of stuns, and they were trying to go on her too constantly. So, like, Water Dragon was just a smarter choice in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
definitely agree.
that first game you wouldn't notice the changes because I couldn't do anything. Like
Yeah,
I was
it was
hitting,
rough.
I was hitting hard, but again, solo heal Tehran. There's no way to keep me alive.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
decide- siege or unsiege. If they decide to go on me, okay.
There you go. Also, we touched on this a little bit. Winter Veil 2017 event is happening. 4-part chain quest gets you a spray, war banner, portrait, and a mount at the end of it. It's not too bad. It's first part is play 2 games. Part 2 is play 5 games. Part 3 is play 8 games. Part 4 is win 5 games. If you're having trouble winning in quick match or unranked, just go knock them out in AI. Just get it done. That's my advice to anyone listening that is just wanting to grind those out easily. Just go to AI, set it to beginner AI, and have some fun. But let's talk about some of these skins, because some of these skins are really nice. Does anyone have a favorite? I mean, obviously I think we know what my favorite is from the new bunch. Malfurion.
Oh, I was gonna say the gingerbread.
No, that's not new. That's old, and I don't like that skin.
What is with skin? What's with you and Halora not liking those skins?
Because the portrait of it in the draft screen is terrifying.
What's with you being fine with that skin?
What does it say about you as a person?
It says I'm creepy. I mean,
I didn't say it.
Hi, have you met me?
Oh my goodness.
Like whatever. I want the Seasons Reaping's Malthael. I don't play Malthael. I probably never will, except for like AI games. But I really want that, just because of the candy cane scythes. It's little things like that just tear me up.
Man, I do play Malthael. I don't even know if I like that skin.
Well, see, let's thank Carl for his time on the show. It's been great.
Oh my goodness.
I do like the Vala skin.
I need to go look at these skins.
I got the Karazim skin from chest today.
Oh,
I need to get some chests, because I don't have enough shards to buy a Vala skin.
Yeah. Is it a epic or legendary?
Legendary. So it's
2400 shards, yeah.
It's purchasable, but it's like 1600, or I'm assuming it'll drop to 1600. Because I know the prices are increased when they're buyable with gems.
So yeah, I don't remember how if it drops. I don't think it drops, unfortunately.
So what's the worst gingerbread Nazebo portrait? Is it the Toon one, or is it just the regular one?
Oh, both. Well, I'm talking about the portrait though. When you're in drafts.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because it literally fills up the entire box with his face.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So, we got to ask for posterity. Did you get all the emojis yet?
Yes, already. I've already. Yeah, that was done as soon as the patch hit.
Keeping up with your tradition of having all the emojis.
Yeah, the emoji quest continues.
There we go. I have to say the design on both the portraits and the sprays are really well done for this event. Even though at least Carl will never give up a spooky undead ghost.
Yeah,
shield
speaking of
guy. Axe Midget, there we go. I never can remember what his proper name is.
I do like these sprays, though. I might pick up a couple of these sprays.
Yeah. Speaking of sprays, I did pick up with some shards a couple of the, I guess you would say Cuphead-inspired ones.
Yeah, the old-timey
ones. Because I had forgotten those had came out until the other day. I was just browsing the sprays, and I was like, oh, I need these. Especially I haven't been playing Alexstrasza, because I really like the Alexstrasza one, and the Gul'dan one is really, really fun.
Yeah, these, I really like some of the gingerbread sprays, but man, I really do not want to pay 150 shards per spray on that. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's way too. It's not a lot. It's way too much.
Wait, where 100? Oh,
100.
Yeah, the gingerbreads are 150, and the snow globes.
Like, I might be sitting on a big stack of sprays right now, but I don't know if I want those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the other thing I want to talk about really quickly, which I find interesting, is that they brought out a brand new bundle. It is 8 heroes, and I think it's 2,000. Yeah, 2,000 gems. You get to pick up ETC, Greymane, Kerrigan, Leoric, Leeming, Lucio, Uther, and Zagara. For those of you who might be new to the game or want to spend money on your alt accounts to unlock heroes, and missed out on the giant bundles from 2.0. It seems like a pretty decent bundle. It's a good variety of heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems, I don't see a problem with this. It looks good, and I own all these heroes.
Yeah, I didn't see the first
Oh,
time
yeah.
I owned them all. It was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm just sad whenever I can't buy like a bundle or something because I already have everything. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm at the point where like I kind of don't care anymore because I know that's how you draw the players in and everything like that. Like how I was like really sad about, I got no use out of the mega bundles that when 2.0 dropped, except for my Smurfs. That got
same.
But like, it's like, whatever. Like, I still would have liked to have seen some kind of compensation for those people who had all the heroes and stuff like that and couldn't really make use. Like, give them some skins or something instead, because that's loyalty. That should kind of be rewarded, in my opinion. But, I'm just a guy talking about heroes. I'm not actually in charge of any decision making, and a lot of my decisions are bad.
I think, like, with that stuff, it's like they do give you rewards for playing the game. That's why there's level up rewards. But, like that was the thing to get new players into the game. You're already in, so you don't.
No, yeah, you're not right.
What? That was amazing.
You're right.
You're not wrong. Okay. Really quickly before I want to talk a little bit about esports. None of us really watched Gold Club World Championship, unfortunately, because of the time that it was on, being a Chinese tournament. But we do have the results of that event, and KSV Black won in the grand finals 3-0 over Dignitas. Third place was Ballistics, with Fnatic following behind them at fourth, with CE and Super Perfect Team in the fifth and sixth slot, and Roll20 Esports and Beyond the Game in 7th, 8th. Gave us a little bit of a glimpse into the meta right now. I think we saw a little bit of Junkrat. Nothing too out of the ordinary. But I'm excited that this event being over means we're that much closer to HGC coming back. We're 32 days away as of this recording. So we're getting there.
Yeah, I really wanted to watch it, but when I saw what Roll20 was doing, I'm like, they're either not really taking this that seriously, and they're exploring options for team compositions and stuff like that. Like,
I feel like that was probably the best thing. Like that second option was like, let's just try stuff. Like our team's brand new. We're kind of learning how to be a team. Let's pick some comps. Let's see how they work. There's some really high quality games.
Like when I saw Kira on support, I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys can't honestly be doing this on purpose. Like, you can't, this couldn't have been, there's no way Kira went, oh yeah, support, I could totally do that. Like, that's not his comfortable role in any way, shape, or form. So, like, I chalk it up as, like we said, they were experimenting. They were trying stuff out in case they have to switch something up at some point, like somebody is sick or something like that, and everyone has to, shift roles. So,
yeah, I definitely took it as kind of be similar to how teams were playing in the preseason Overwatch League, where we saw a lot of substitutes come in, teams just trying things out because the games really didn't matter too much. I mean the games mattered here because of the prize distribution.
I mean, they
but
mattered,
if
but
they matter,
also was like your teams were so new. It was almost like a coin flip.
Yeah.
Like, okay, did you guys sync in your 3 weeks together? If yes, you're gonna do well. If no, you're not.
Like, I like the idea of like constantly subbing in and out in that Overwatch League too. I liked that, like, because you always have that player who's super comfortable on one map, while another one of your players isn't that comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
on that same map, so you swap them, you know.
Yeah. I'd love to see
Yeah.
that in Heroes. I wish that
I
was the
know.
thing.
Like Overwatch seemed to do it because Overwatch has a much smaller roster. It's like 25 heroes or something.
Yeah,
So you
that's
have
part of it.
like this guy's good on like 2 or 3 tanks, and you have like 4 tank players, and between them they have the whole roster, right? And they're all like passable on every tank, but they're like really really good at like Diva and Zarya. There's one guy who's like really good on like um, Reinhardt and like Winston or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you can kind of be like, hey, we need a Winston in this. We think we're gonna like Winston's really good on this map. We're gonna kind of build a comp where we want a Winston. Let's put this guy in. That seems really cool. And HOTS has a bigger roster, but like, and I think part of it is just the funding. Like Overwatch League can afford to have like 12 players who aren't actively playing.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I don't think HOTS even just has the resources. But like in a perfect world, you'd have like, hey, we've got a couple range assassin players. We have some like off support guys. We have some bruiser guys. We have a main tank. We have a main support. You can kind of be like, hey, we're gonna go with this comp to this game, and you put your guys in. So you have your 2 ranged assassins, you have your 2 tanks, and you have a support, and you're like, all right, this is what we're gonna go with. We think this is the best way to play, and you go with it. And then the meta shifts, and you need, like double tank, double support assassin. You're like, hey, we got a support player right here. Let's put him in.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool, but expensive.
Yeah. So, what's interesting, really quickly, about the Gold Club World Championship is Liquipedia puts together viewer numbers, and interestingly enough, I guess this shouldn't be a huge surprise, but the peak overall was 157,000 viewers. 152,000 of that, or 152,000 was the peak for Chinese streams. So China, I guess, does like Heroes, especially when it's on at a time that's better for them.
China is a really big country. In fact, it's the biggest. So, they have a big player base. They have a big viewer base. And when you host a tournament in China, and it's on at Chinese times, you need a lot of Chinese viewers. So, even if China kind of sucks at HOTS right now.
I actually need to pay attention to things like Worlds for League, International, because like those viewership numbers are really interesting to me, and I've been wanting to do a compare and contrast across the different markets for all of the games.
Maybe
like
next year Blizzard will have a dragon.
Whoosh.
The League World Championships, they did it like an AR dragon. So the stream got to see this big dragon fly around the stadium and roar and everything. It's pretty cool.
That is actually pretty neat.
For the people in the stands, just like, why'd the music slow down?
Okay, no, and that is actually really cool. I know International, like the way they have the floor set up, is like it's a giant map of Dota. Like the 2 teams.
They did that.
Oh, did they?
At this World, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like the whole map, like when you look down, like if you're up in the top, like it's like a functional mini map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they do that at Worlds too. Like that would be dope to do. Like
yeah, I mean it was this one. I don't think last year was. This year they did it, I think, in the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, it was the Olympic Stadium.
And so they turned that whole floor area into the map, and the players were in these big domes at like the nexuses basically. And the pre-show, or like there was performance beforehand, and like they had these like dancers out, and they were like coming down the lanes like minions, doing like combat like fight dance type stuff when they met. It was pretty cool.
Now, was it like actual fighting, or are we talking like West Side Story?
No, there was no actual like combat. It's just like the dance moves were like made you like think of like combat. Okay,
so West Side Story, got it. Carl, have you ever seen West Side Story?
I've not.
Tell Ariel to make you watch that West Side Story. Then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Sorry, I know I dated myself on that one.
It's all right.
But
anyways, as far as esports and Heroes goes, my hope is that 2018 brings us more in-person events.
I would love to have live events.
Yeah, more lands, please, for the love of God. Like,
because there definitely have been a few events I've been to where there's no audience and it's really weird. Like, it's really weird. Like, I watched the pre-week BlizzCon games down at the Blizzard Arena, and it wasn't open to the public, so there was like 10 people say in the stands. So
I don't understand why they do that.
Yeah, I don't either. But the really kind of positive of it though was it was really fun to just sit and listen to comms, because you could hear the comms because of how loud they were, especially Tempo. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I still don't know why they didn't have it open to the public.
Yeah, they need to open that to the public, because those are, important games. People are going to want to see that. Mm-hmm. People, I guarantee you those seats would have been filled if they had.
Yeah, it's also like, I think it's good for the players, right? Because if if you're from like Southeast Asia and you fly over here and you play your pre-BlizzCon matches and you get knocked out of the tournament and you never had a live audience, it's pretty crappy. Like, they earned their spot here. They're the best team in their region. They should get to play in front of a live audience and hear people cheer for them.
Yeah, and it's exactly as you said. That would be so frustrating, as you're all hyped up, you're ready for the LAN experience, especially if this is your first LAN. You're ready for that LAN experience, and you get there and you've got nobody there. And it's supposed to be the biggest tournament of the year.
Like was it like Nomia that got beat this year and they didn't show up because like Darksided or whatever beat them?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nomia kind of fell off as soon as Arcaner left.
Yeah, so like Darksided made it, like, oh, we made it to BlizzCon, and I don't remember exactly how it went, because I don't know if they did try and make it so that everybody got like one game on the BlizzCon stage.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. So like, man, if Darksided didn't get to play on the BlizzCon stage, like, that sucks.
That's frustrating. Like that. But like, hopefully they turn around and use that as a motivating factor. Hey, we made it. We didn't get to even play on the stage. Let's fix that by like not dropping out in the group stages. Let's focus. Let's hunker down and get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully the teams can turn it into something positive. But just as a fan, I want better for those teams.
Yeah. I agree completely. Weirdly,
yeah.
You and I have been agreeing a lot tonight, and that never happens. Just need to check those Bible dates to see if the end of the world is coming around now.
Yeah, but I think with that we're going to close out the show. This has been episode 126 of the Heroes Powerhour. I think I said 127 at the beginning. I'm losing count. But 126, the Heroes Power. Check us out at heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com for all your Heroes news. Blizzpro.com if you're interested in other Blizzard games. There's all sorts of Diablo news, Overwatch League stuff, etc. Check that out. Make sure to subscribe to us on youtube.com/BlizzPro. That is where all the video archives go. If you are listening to this on iTunes or Google Play, a review helps us out so much in exposing the show to other Heroes players. But yeah, make sure to check us out on blizzpro.com as always. And if you want to support the show, the best way to do that right now is by subscribing to this Twitch channel. And that money is used for the entire BlizzPro network to help improve things going forward. But before we head out, as always, where can people find you, Zextrus?
You can find me at the Twitter hag. Twitter hag?
Twitter hag.
Twitter hag? Twitter hag. The Twitter tag below. You can find me over at twitch.tv/Nexus Commentaries. Like I said, there's a side project I'm working on right now. You can find that.
Saturday?
Yeah, as long as my stream works.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll be streaming Saturday. The semifinals of the Chair League holiday tournament. That should be a lot of fun. I think we're just doing one game, and then we're going to kick it over to some other casters for grand finals, and that should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, there's that side project I'm working on that you two literally just found out about at the beginning of the show. So, there's that. But that's it.
There we go. P Flame G, what are you up to this week?
I'm actually going to start trying to write some articles for the website. So be on the lookout for those. Trying to join Elbeard as he continues to pump out articles like the robot he is. So stay tuned. Here's the storm.blizzpro.com.
Yeah, and as for me, you can always find me at DJ Tyrant on Twitch and Twitter. All my stuff that I'm doing is posted over there. And that's going to do it. Stay tuned and stay tight. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Heroes Power Hour.